You were alone, maybe in the kitchen, or the car, or the shower, and you started talking, not to anyone, just out loud, working something through. Maybe you caught yourself and felt a little embarrassed. You're not going to tell anyone about that moment, but it happens more than you'd admit, and there's a name for what you are. When you speak out loud, you're not expressing a thought, you're creating one. That distinction is the whole thing. Imagine sending a document to 2 editors instead of 1. The error that one misses, the other catches. That's what happens when you talk to yourself. Alan Baddeley's model of working memory includes something called the phonological loop, essentially a short-term auditory rehearsal system. When you talk out loud, you feed the same information through 2 pathways simultaneously. You generate the thought and hear it at the same time. 2 editors, 1 document. The version that comes out is cleaner. In 2012, researchers Lupien and Swingley ran a study where participants had to find objects in a visual scene. The people who said the object's name aloud found it measurably faster than those who searched in silence. Not slightly faster, consistently, measurably faster. Saying the word banana actually made bananas easier to see. Language doesn't just describe reality, it sharpens it. Decades before that, Lev Vygotsky argued that out loud self-talk isn't a leftover from childhood, it's a cognitive scaffold, a tool that most people eventually fold inward as silent thought. The ones who keep using it externally aren't behind, they're running the full version of the process. Research suggests the people who do this share specific, recognizable patterns. If this applies to you, you'll know which ones are yours. The first, you've started explaining a problem to an empty room, and before you finished your own sentence, you already had the answer. You weren't looking for someone to rescue you. Your brain was using the sound of your own voice as an auditing system. That's not talking to yourself. That's doing something most people's working memory can't do quietly, and it works. The second, you rehearse conversations before they happen, not just your lines, but theirs. You play both roles, out loud, sometimes pacing. Psychology calls this anticipatory self-regulation. You're not anxious, you're running a simulation. And the research consistently shows that people who do this perform better in the actual conversation because their nervous system has already been there once. The third, you sometimes narrate your thinking out loud while working through a decision as though explaining it to someone sitting next to you, even when no one is. You're not confused. You're externalizing the logic so you can audit it from the outside. Most people can only evaluate their reasoning from inside it. You found a workaround. The fourth, you sometimes use your own name when things get hard. Okay, what do you actually need right now? You might have assumed that was a little odd. It isn't. Ethan Kross at the University of Michigan spent years studying exactly this third-person self-talk, addressing yourself by name instead of I, and found it consistently activates the same psychological distance you'd offer a close friend. The moment you stop calling yourself I, you become your own most rational advisor. That's not a quirk. That's a tool most people don't even know they have. The fifth, you've narrated frustration out loud to a room that wasn't listening. I literally just had this open, or where did I put it? Not to be heard, but because saying it made it easier to bear. That's not venting, that's regulation. Your brain found a way to externalize what it couldn't fully process in silence, and it used the only voice it had complete access to, yours. Most people assume that talking to yourself out loud is something you were supposed to grow out of. Vygotsky spent his career arguing the opposite, that the voice you kept using wasn't a habit you never broke. It was the more honest version of thought. You just never stopped being honest about it. The people around you may not always understand why you narrate, why you rehearse, why you process out loud, but the research is unambiguous. The voice you kept using externally was never the immature version. It was the complete one. Next time you catch yourself talking to an empty room, don't stop. You're running the full version of a process most people only half use.